There are three methodologies for in silico predictions. Firstly, there's SAR, which is the acronym for Structural Activity Relationship. This is a rules-based approach where known structural edifices are known to cause biological damage. In this example, all the compounds here are mutagenic. The common feature is the epoxide ring, which reacts with the DNA. Different alerts can be compiled and then encoded into a software tool able to recognize the structural alert in your query compound that indicates a risk of mutagenicity. The second method is QSAR, or Quantitative Structural Activity Relationship. QSARs determine the statistical relationship between a measure of toxicological activity and one or more molecular properties. It is easier to visualize the concept in two dimensions. In this example, there is a relationship that can be described with an equation between the lipophilicity and toxicity. You can use the equation to predict the toxicity of a new compound by calculating log P. The third methodology is read-across. It is a technique for predicting endpoint information for your substance of interest by using data from the same endpoint from other substances. We shall explain read-across in more detail in a subsequent video. Each method has its strengths and limits. And this is the reason why they are applied in slightly different ways for different applications, and they are often used together as lines of evidence in a weight of evidence approach when high reliability of the prediction is necessary. As an example, a chemical risk assessment. There are a lot of applications for in silico toxicology methods. There is the use for risk assessment as an alternative to test data. There are applications where the synthesis of the test material is not feasible, as well as the well-known historical applications in drug design, drug discovery, as a screening tool. Each application has its own rules on how to apply QSAR. In recent years, a lot of effort has been put into providing the users with guidelines, above all when it comes to chemical risk assessment. REACH guidelines are the most general and complete guidance on how to use QSAR and read-across in regulatory toxicology. There are also some specific guidance on how to assess the potential genotoxicity with in silico methods for drug impurities, medical devices, and the metabolites of pesticides. This is an example of suggestions from ECHA on which approach to use for which endpoint. QSAR predictions, as an alternative to testing, are suggested just for some physiochemical properties and low-tier toxicity endpoints, such as skin sensitization and genotoxicity, while read-across is suggested for the higher-tier endpoints, such as repeated dose toxicity or reproductive toxicity. It is also worth mentioning that the use of in silico methods, the yellow and orange bars in this diagram, is becoming more common. This is a report from ECHA, which describes the use of different methods for each endpoint submitted up to 2017. But as a word of caution, ECHA's evaluations have shown many submissions have had to be rejected due to the reasons listed here. I appreciate this is an extremely brief overview. If you would like to know more about in silico methodologies, Tox Navigation runs training courses on using these techniques for regulatory applications. We have an online course that is video streamed and run every month. We have a classroom course held in London presented by Professor Mark Cronin, Dr. Judith Madden from Liverpool Moores University, and Dr. Eleanor Furivanzo from Tox Navigation. We also run bespoke courses for companies or organizations, either on-site or remotely. For more details, follow this link to our training page.